topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from top local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to experts in family law, association law, hearing loss, business brokers, home care, along with many other topics. Now here are your hosts, Steve-O and Sophia.
Hey, good afternoon, Los Angeles. Welcome to another Ask the Expert show where we bring you the best, the creme de la creme experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. We've got a great second half show today. I hope you enjoyed the first half. Second half, we're going to be talking about neuropathy. And if you have ever had those pains or that tingling feeling in your feet and your fingers, you might be a candidate for neuropathy. And I got to tell you, we have heard from people, it is so painful. But you know what? We have today with us one of the top doctors that really has studied neuropathy. And hopefully we can answer some of your questions today. We do a neuropathy show in other states across the country, and it's becoming one of our top shows. So we're waiting here for Dr. Kelberman to come on right now, and I guess he's not there yet. We've had, for some reason, trouble emailing. We emailed him the link to come on today, and I did it a couple hours ago, and it showed he first got it. So I know we're waiting. I might have to ask Juan to send him the link. I'm going to see, this is what happens when you have a live show. Things like this happen. And hey, Lisa, you get to see what goes on in the background of podcast shows and radio shows. I'm going to give Juan, let me just get him and this is something you should not ever be doing, is going quiet during a show, but I think Juan might be able to maybe reach him better. I don't know. There's something with my computer that just doesn't allow me to send him emails, and it would be nice if it was much faster sending him an email. But I first have to look up his number, and let me get this over to Juan, because that might be the problem. And I'm going to do that right now, Juan. There you go. Anyway, so getting back to the show, Dr. Kelberman is out of the Los Angeles area, and we were so lucky to find him. Neuropathy is very painful, but there's other things that people lose their balance. I've learned so much about neuropathy, and since Dr. Kelberman, he works with this all the time. So this is going to be like going to a doctor, not having to pay anything, and learn about neuropathy. We've got some also great shows coming up. Next week, we've got really good shows coming up. We're doing a show on tax relief next week that is going to be a great show. For those of you who are behind on your taxes, and they are getting really rough on us now, Dr. Kelberman should be coming on any minute now. Um, just let me just check my phone. Nothing from him. He'll have this in just a few seconds, and I do apologize. But the things that I've learned about neuropathy, uh, first of all, you got to know the symptoms. And, a lot of people do not even know that some of these pains that they're having or tingling or numbness have no idea that it's neuropathy. And what I love about Dr. Kelberman, and I got to tell you something, I have learned that chiropractic care has it's changed so much. It's not just automobile accident or slip and falls and um, doing corrections. God, chiropractors do so much more. And I got to tell you, I had a low back pain and I went to the doctor. And 2 weeks after I saw the doctor, I still had the same pain. And I decided to go to a chiropractor. Do you know within 2 days, that pain was gone? I mean, that was incredible. I'm going to put you on mute. I am so sorry. For those of you, who were tuning in, he's calling. Dr. Kelverman is calling in. Both Juan and I both emailed him, and he didn't get either email. And we don't ever have this problem at all. So I apologize, but we're going to have Dr. Kelberman back, though we're waiting for him to come on right now. I hate having dead air. We don't ever want to do that, but it's a live show, so we have to do the best that we can. He should be on with us any minute, and we've only got about 10 minutes left. So again, I apologize. The same thing happened last month when we were waiting for him. And I don't know what's taken so long for him to call in. And this is such an important topic, neuropathy. Boy, especially if you're the one who has neuropathy, it's such an important topic. And many chiropractors have found ways to treat neuropathy, which is amazing. Like I said, I went into a doctor and they could not do anything for my back pain. So we've got him on the line now. Let's welcome him to the show. Dr. Kelberman. Dr. Kelberman, are you there? Okay, we're waiting again on God. This is like one of those days. Anything that could possibly go wrong is going wrong. But I promise you, we're going to bring Dr. Kelberman back. Is he on the line? Waiting for him to. We've only got about 10 minutes left. This is amazing. I am just shocked that we have these problems. What I'm really surprised about, last time he got Juan's email, but he said it did not come in. Dr. Kelberman, are you there? Okay. You ever had a show that you feel like you're talking to yourself and no one's even there? I do apologize. Dr. Kelberman? I don't hear him at all. Now we're told he hung up. I told you, whatever could possibly go wrong has gone wrong. You know what? I guess I'm just going to have to wing it myself because I don't know why we can't even get his phone call through. But we're talking about neuropathy, and one of the things that Dr. Kelberman, which I was really surprised about, is he wanted to offer. Now, he's in the Westside Wellness Center, and he's offering this special initial visit, which includes, listen to this.
Hello there.
Are you there?
I am here.
Oh my gosh. Well, I was telling my
weird technical challenges today. So sorry.
It's okay. It's, Dr. Kelvin, we're going to have you back because neuropathy is so important. And especially if you're suffering from neuropathy.
How much time do we have?
Like 8 minutes.
Let me see what I could do for you in 8 minutes.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right. So I'll just tell you what goes on, in my office. First of all, the biggest question I get is, why does neuropathy affect the feet? Why does it? Sometimes it does. Sometimes it affects the whole body. But one of the reasons is that it's the farthest away from your heart. It's the farthest away from your circulation system, from your neurologic system. Everything is as its distant component, and therefore sometimes hardest to reach, or the one that fails the earliest. Second most common question is, how come I have such balance problems? All right. Yes, and why is it that older people have balance problems? And in fact, why do they have a high rate of falling? It's about 10% of everybody over 60 years old has a bad fall and or is hospitalized, and that's a pretty high number. Third question is, how come walking doesn't strengthen my feet? Well, that's because we don't walk the way we're supposed to. We were meant to be barefoot on soft ground so that we could fully utilize all of our foot muscles, and we don't. The next most common question I get is, so what do you do about strengthening feet? And the answer to that in my office is I actually had to scientifically develop, engineer, and patent a piece of equipment to bring the strength back to your feet. And in my opinion, it's one of those things that could prevent older people from having falls. Ooh. Next question. Here, I'll just give you a couple of examples. Had a patient come in just a week ago. He's diabetic and he was just about to have gangrene in his toes. He waited too long. I saved his feet. All right, we got care going right away. The color came back to his feet. His lesions are healing. We have the technology for that purpose. One of the pieces of equipment that we have was originally designed for diabetic ulcers. So one of the takeaways should be when you seek out care for neuropathy, you should seek care to a center that can offer you a result for the type of neuropathy that you have, because there are many different types, which is basically why in our office we have a lot of different modalities, if you will, so that we can treat neurologically, metabolically, and mechanically all at the same time, because everybody's a little bit different in that regard. Okay, so what's the medical approach? Well,
do you
none
treat
of that.
all the different types of neuropathy?
No, I didn't create all that, but
Do you treat all the different types?
Yeah, I've used them all, and I just keep the ones that work, because there's a lot of stuff on the market out there that doesn't work. And just ask somebody who's already bought things off the internet why that is. And they'll tell you, oh, I bought this supplement. Oh, I bought that vibrating machine. Oh, I bought this electrical one. Oh, I bought this, I bought that. And none of it worked. Occasionally, some of it does. And that's a key to part of what will eventually do a great job for you. But it's not the whole enchilada. So the medical approach is simply to medicate it. Take gabapentin, take Lyrica, that's all we got. And that takes none of the root causes into account. And that's why that most people get limited response to that. I mean, the medical approach is if it works, great. If not, you're just going to have to learn to live with it. And so that's not what you hear in our office. I had a patient come in the other day with a post-chemotherapy neuropathy, very common with cancer treatment. I'm proud to let you know that not only are all of her pain and cramping gone, but all of her numbness is gone. Wow. Chemotherapy tends to create a lot of numbness. Numbness is and can be the most difficult symptom to resolve. All right. I mean, I can go on and on if we have more time.
Dr. Kilburn?
Yeah.
How many treatments did it take?
The average varies between 12 to 24. Some cases are easier than others. I had a case who came in just this week. He asked me that question, and my response to him was 6 months. Why? This was a gentleman who not only waited too long, but his diet was insufficient with protein. He's lost all of his muscles in his legs and his feet. He's barely walking. So, we humans, God, we put up with a lot before we finally do something about it. If you take anything away from this show at all, it's don't wait. This is one of those conditions where the sooner you get on it, the better the outcome. Once damage is done, it's very hard to completely regenerate nerves. It's much easier to regenerate muscles and other tissue. Nerves take a lot longer. So for him, that 6 months would be a short side, but for most people, it's 3 months. Most cases are doing really well in 3 months, and then we figure out what do they need to do on their own for home care long term, so that they can take care of themselves. How are we doing on time?
We have 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
And I want to tell people how they can reach you also.
So they can reach me through my website at westsidewellnesscenter.com, all spelled out, no spaces. they can call the office at 310-268-8008 or text us at 310-291-5150. All of those options are available. In fact, you can even schedule yourself on the website. I noticed that you were talking about an offer that you were making for me earlier. So basically, the reason we do that, and usually I say, the first 5 callers can get a complimentary consultation with me, is because I want people to have the option to get properly examined. I had a nurse in here yesterday from UCLA, and she didn't want to tell her doctors that she was seeing me because I'm a chiropractor. Okay. So she was, so she kind of came in with a little bit of wearing sunglasses and, not offering up much information at first. And once I started consulting with her and examining her, she was absolutely thrilled. She'd been down the medical route already, had the EMGs, been offered the gabapentin, and was getting absolutely nowhere. And, within 25 minutes in my office, she suddenly had this light bulb come on, if you will, or this spark of hope. That's a good way to put it. That, hey, there really is something to be done about this. And they scared her into thinking that, she was doomed. And in reality, in my world, she was a mild case, but she had horrible feet. Nobody had taken care of her feet. So us humans, we accumulate stuff, one thing happens in another. If it doesn't hurt, we ignore it. And sometimes we even ignore pain. We go, well, maybe it'll go away tomorrow. So when it comes to neuropathy and, when you're 20 years or 30 years old, it's one thing. When you're 50, 60, 70, and you're accumulating these things, you really need to get them checked.
Well, Dr. Kelberman, I want to real fast. We've already had 5 people call mad because they wanted more, but we're going to bring you back for 2 shows next month, and we're going to get this problem solved. Thanks so much, Dr. Kelberman.
Sorry for the technical difficulties.
It's okay. We'll get it straightened out.
You bet. Thanks much.
And that's going to be it for us today. Juan, thank you so much. We'll be back again with you next week with more Ask the Experts.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Experts show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.